Canadians becoming more sharply divided over record high immigration quotas. Study. Half of Canadians, 51%, agree immigrants need to do more to integrate into Canadian society. Canada. Fancy new me. This post has been locked by the R Canada mod team. Please ensure you are being civil in your discussions. Myth 00110. 1. And yet our deputy PM keeps saying, including a few days ago, that Canadians are the most welcoming people when it comes to immigration. They don't check the polls, the newspaper headlines and the rapidly shifting sentiments. Just continuing with what will benefit themselves, their friends and greedy corporations. Gloomy hypothesis. 187. Evan, we can't integrate these numbers. We don't have housing or services or jobs. We need to stop this. Trashes. 1446. Removed. 804. Integrate into Canadian society. Whoops. A little late for that. QC Badger. 372. The problem with addressing the problem now is that it may be too late. There are so many new immigrants who haven't integrated and are staying within immigrant pockets, that being exposed to typical Canadian societal behaviors isn't the norm anymore. Canadians being passive when witnessing rude or non-typically Canadian behaviors also does not help the issue. The only way to fix this is to massively reduce immigration. Send back immigrants who have broken visa requirements, committed crimes, or are absolutely not needed so that the remaining immigrants can become more exposed to Canadian society and be encouraged to integrate. New immigrants should also be required to complete an in-person course on integrating into Canadian society within a minimum number of months after arrival. Bananasaur _ 360. Trucking associations say employers abusing LMIA system to recruit workers. Canada. Unusual State 1827. They're not the only ones. Zelacedial PEN 292. 1. This is not surprising in the slightest. Our TFW program needs a severe revamp. Professional Cry 8310. 1. From the article, immigrants looking to land employment in Canada are being asked to pay tens of thousands of dollars by employers who are abusing the temporary foreign worker (TFW) program, and more groups are now speaking up about the abuse. Visitors to Canada often buy a labor market impact assessment (LMIA) through unethical consultants and employers to convert their visitor visas into work permits, said Manan Gupta, president of Skylake Immigration, in a trucknews.com report. And these visitors are paying up to $60,000 for an LMIA in Ontario, with prices varying in other parts of the country. Aaron Doliniuk, executive director of the Manitoba Trucking Association, MTA, said that people are being charged between $50,000 and $60,000. Robert Harper, president of Alberta Motor Transport Association, AMTA, said he's heard people have paid $25,000 and as high as $40,000. According to the report, Unusual State 1827. 1. Fun fact, they are probably abusing the wage rules too. If it is a long-haul driver, their wages need to be based off market rate in that area traveled, aka all areas. Meaning, if company is in Vancouver paying peanuts, but doing a long haul to Fort McMurray, that driver needs to be paid the prevailing wage of Fort McMurray. But sure, these employers don't go that far into the real details applying for LMIAs, nor is the government enforcing the rules, checking things. City Tequeezer. 1. I think it's safe to say every employer is abusing the program at this point. Jeremy 5000. 1. This criminal behavior is disgraceful and I blame the feds for their inability to recognize or willingness to allow despite obvious red flags this type of behavior by these employers. They also need to crack down hard on these so-called immigration consultants. Rude Associate 2283. 1. Goldstein. Average Canuck paying more in taxes than on necessities. Report says. Canada. Useless political hack. It's not just the taxes. It's not being able to access services that the taxes are supposed to be paying for. Spakea. 1. TLDR. The average Canadian family last year spent more of its income on all forms of taxation, 43%, than on basic necessities, such as food, shelter and clothing combined, 35.6%. The study included federal, municipal and provincial taxes. Balder-77. 1. Interesting how the last paragraph of the article acknowledges that Fraser Institute's calculations used for the first part of the article are misleading. Critics of how the Fraser Institute makes its calculations say its use of average incomes instead of median family incomes inflates the amount of money families pay in taxes. That it includes taxes paid by businesses as if they were paid by families and fails to calculate the benefits taxpayers receive from hospitals, schools and other public infrastructure. Logopoulos 01. 1. Greater than ***. In fact, the average Canadian family now spends more of its income on taxes than it does on basic necessities such as food, shelter, and clothing. In 2013, 41.8% of the average family's income went to pay taxes, while in 1961, only 33.5% of the family's income went to taxes. https www.fraser-institute.org/studies/taxes-versus-necessities-consumer-tax-index-2014 https www.fraser-institute.org/studies/taxes-versus-necessities-consumer-tax-index-2014 Fraser Institute. August 11, 2014. 10 years ago. Just in case anybody wants to blame Trudeau for this. vs. The Fraser Institute being the Fraser Institute. They've been doing this for decades. This particular one also highlights something else the FI likes to do, which is to use nominal, non-inflation adjusted dollars to make it seem bigger. 681% more taxes since 1961. Quote, Squirrel 9000. 1. Rich people working on those tax cuts winking face. Media competition needs to increase. Yokepearl 1. Spun differently. Good news everyone. The average family only spends a hair over a third of their income on essentials. Stanwelds 1. Convoy leader Pat King to be re-arrested over alleged bail breach, Canada, on a wire. Good. Fuck this guy. Cooks_8. 1. Oh no. Anyways, moving on. Hal Jordan 2424. 1. What a shock. The criminal terrorist wannabe loser can't stay out of trouble. Color me shocked. Shocked I say. Seriously though. Fuck Pat King. Jail that pile of crap for as long as the law allows. We need to be tough on criminal scum. Inherently untrue. 1. It's actually quite common for bail and probation violations to be given the asterisk finger wag multiple times before they are thrown back in their cells. I don't expect to see anything different here. But what about ISMS? 1. Removed. 1. Whatever happened to the money these guys grifted? Did they keep it all? Panda Rocket Punch. 1. Canadian women's rugby sevens team to face New Zealand for Olympic gold after stunning Australia. Canada. Elvin Cow. I caught some of the women's rugby games and holy hell they're tough. Arbane Hestia. 1. Damn, our women are kicking ass at these Olympics. Mr. Crazy_Monkey. 1. They were down 0-12 and then just scored 21 straight points. Australia unraveled quick in the second half. Brave Taylor. 1. Amazing showing after Australia came out swinging. On to gold. Machiavelli 98. 1. I am rooting for Canada, but I hope they are ready for Portia Woodman. If y'all don't know Portia Woodman, check this highlight reel. https youtube.com/shorts/clachdcl-x8 C equals E0 MTIXA7 E5 TCVDLs NDO48 1. I never watched sevens before, let alone women's rugby, but holy fuck, these women are amazing athletes. And tough as shit. Go Canada. Quote, Pete the Can UCK. 1.